Hello everybody, it's TMOG 217. Welcome to a LEGO Marvel set review. Take a look at set number 76216, the Iron Man Armory. This is a set that released on June 1st of 2022, contains 496 pieces, 8 minifigures, and is based off of Iron Man 2 if I had to guess. So let's have a look at the build. Alright, we'll get over with the main thing first because there's a lot of side builds with this set. So of course you have the main Iron Man Armory. It's quite a simplistic build, and it's definitely different from the two iterations that were released prior. Honestly, based on looking on images of the other ones compared to this one actually is kind of cool. Like, it kind of allows you to display the figures a little bit differently than the other ones, because the other ones seemed a little limiting in its height. This one kind of gives you more height to mess around with what you can put behind there, I guess. It's not exactly to minifigure scale, which is a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it, but for me it's a good thing because it allows me to add things to the bottom right there, because there's some stud connections. So if you have a minifigure with some repulsor pieces from the older Iron Man sets, this is definitely useful because you could attach them right there or whatever. Anyway, just yeah, you do have some stickered glass pieces for other Iron Man armors. You got the Mark 1, the Silver Centurion with the new Iron Man helmet design as a sticker, which is interesting. Wondering if they're teasing a remake of that. And then you have the Nanotech suit as a sticker. You do have two spaces that they tell you to take up. One to make for the wings of the Mark, what is it, 85, I think it is, which kind of seems like a waste of space. Same thing goes for the stud shooter and the fire extinguisher. If you ask me, you can just put it at the top here where there's, you know, out of the way, and there's some double jumpers for whatever reason. It's a nice way to top off the design so it doesn't look generic, I guess, but, yeah. There is connection points on either side if you were to build this off even more, but for the price point, I don't know if you're going to be doing that much. Anyway, let's have a look at the other side builds with this set. So for one of these side builds, you have a work table of sorts, which is okay. It looks like it can roll around on some makeshift wheels. It does look like Tony's going to be working on his Mark III armor, which has the detached exposed legs built on, which is cool, I guess. And then you have a little heads-up display on some translucent bricks, which show the Iron Man helmet and just the arc reactor, I guess. And you do have two stickered tiles that are just loosely on there. One for Captain America's shield of sorts, and another for an arc reactor, if I had to guess. So, cool stickers, I guess. Not particular anything that means anything to me, but maybe it will to you guys. Anyway, let's move on to the next side build, which is another table on wheels. This one just has a ray gun build of sorts, if I had to guess. I tried watching the Iron Man movies, and I don't think this stuck out to me, so it's just a random side build. And then you have the Mark III helmet for Tony to work on, I guess. But we'll, of course, assemble the Mark III armor when we have a look at the minifigures. Anyway, we're not done yet with the side builds, which consist of two more, which is a drill press, which I think is the first time, at least to my knowledge, we've gotten in LEGO form, and I think they executed that very perfectly with the parts given. So that's pretty cool. Then you have one of the dummy, at least that's what I think they're called, little robots that help Tony Stark throughout. A little bit of posability using mixel ball joints, but yeah, not much to these two things. Then you have a chair, which probably goes with one of the desks. I forgot which one it goes to, but it's there. And then you have a little workshop bench thing, which has empty drawers. Kind of would have been nice if there would have been like some cool tiles or something in here. But anyway, you got a wrench, a drill, I guess, and I'm assuming this is an arc reactor, which looks a little weird, not gonna lie. A little light, and then a little figurine, which I'm assuming is Iron Man. A little Iron Man figurine. I don't know. Anyway. And next up, you have the main centerpiece, which is loosely built. It kind of doesn't connect to the armory in any way, shape, or form, which is kind of a shame. I wish there would have been a way to assemble this to the armory. Anyway, it does have two studs if you want to attach a minifigure to display, because it is iconic for Tony to do his famous suit-up scenes. So you can do that with that, I guess. Anyway, I did save the best for last, which is the brick-built car. This honestly feels like a micro-scale Speed Champions car of sorts, and this looks fairly accurate to what is shown in the Iron Man 2 movie. You have a stickered element of Stark 11, which as the license plate. Overall, really fun build technique. It does have some tiles right here that are of the Stark Expo, and I do believe there's a way for you to connect this. Give me a second here. By basically taking one of these, you can basically connect all of the tiles to form up the blueprint for the Stark Expo, which is used for Tony Stark to discover a new Elementosaurus. I don't think I have the configuration right there, but you guys get the point. All right, all I did was have to switch this correctly. Anyway, that's what that looks like, fully assembled. Jump back to the car, though. Definitely Speed Champion's looking like. It's just have enough room to fit all those tiles. And you can remove Tony Stark from there, and you can see there is a stickered element in there that is just the speed gauge. So, yeah, not much else to say about this car build. Let's finally move on to the minifigures included in this set. Let's take a look at the first two minifigures. You have Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. These figures aren't exclusive to this set, as they do come in like one other one. Tony Stark comes in the Sicarian Iron Man armor, and Pepper Potts comes in the Ironmonger set. So, both of which I think are retired now as of the time's recording. They do have double-sided facial expressions on them, so that's cool, I guess, and that's what those look like. But, yeah, not really much else to say about these minifigures, so I guess we shall move on to the other figures, shall we? For the next two figures, we have Nick Fury and Whiplash. Nick Fury isn't exclusive to this set, unfortunately, as he came in Spider-Man vs. Mysterio's Drone Attack, which is a 4+ set, and the Avengers Helicarrier. As for Whiplash, though, he does have some exclusive-ish translucent chain pieces that are fairly long chains here. But anyway, everything about this figure is currently exclusive, even right down to the helmet design, which doesn't have the new Iron Man helmet design, but that's fine because in the movie it kind of retracts into the suit, and removing that, you could see his facial print, which is double-sided. And he does also come with an alternate hairpiece if you want to display him like that, and that looks really cool. Perfect hairpiece overall. Yeah, not much I think I could have added to this figure. So anyway, let's have a look at the next figures. For the next two figures, we have Iron Man Mark III as well as the War Machine Mark I. We have gotten other versions of the Mark III, to my understanding, in other sets. Not with this new helmet, though, so you got a bit of an updated design if you don't want to chase down the expensive original version of the Mark III. And it does use the new helmet piece, which can flip up, and as you'll see with the other Iron Man marks, they will have a translucent blue head rather than just a Tony Stark head, which is just fine by me. As for War Machine, like I said, first time we've gotten a Mark I variation of the armor. We've gotten Mark II and Mark III, etc., but never Mark I. So although it's a different helmet piece, it's still nice that we finally got a Mark I of Rhodey in the War Machine suit, and as well, you can flip that up, you can see his facial print, which is double-sided, or, sorry, no it's not, my mistake. Would be nice though if it was double-sided, but yeah, it has a side-mounted gun, but I guess if you wanted to remove that, you're able to have a better look at the back torso print. Anyway, let's have a look at the final two figures, shall we? For the final two minifigures, you have the Mark 25 and the Mark 85. But anyway, have a look at the Mark 25 first. I like it. It's the first time we've ever gotten this Mark armor in Lego form, and I think they pulled it off quite nicely. You got the drill gauntlets that are brick built, and those look really nice. Again, same thing with the translucent blue head, but still a cool figure nonetheless. Now, as for the Mark 85, this one seems like a useless inclusion if you ask me, because the only thing really going for it is the exclusive new helmet design, because again, the torso and the legs were basically used in other sets previous to the armor helmet change. So I would have honestly preferred a different Mark that we haven't gotten before rather than a redo of the Mark 85, which honestly wasn't necessary. The last time we got a Mark 85 was literally, I don't know, a few months before the change, maybe? So it seems a little odd. Anyway, yeah, removing the wings off of the back of the Mark 85. You're able to see the back torso print a little bit better, but again, it's the same thing. The only thing different is the helmet piece. Anyway, let's look at what else this set includes. Taking a look at the instructions, you have the horrible box art rendition, or I guess 3D rendering, whatever. Anyway, flipping over the first page, you got the usual, they're going to change to paper bags eventually, and use our digital app because we want an excuse to get rid of our physical instructions or something like that. Anyway, yeah, instructions are pretty straightforward. You have the Mark 85 as the progress bar, which honestly, maybe the Mark 25 would have been a better thing to use. Just, I don't know, make the exclusive figure the progress bar is what I'm getting at. Anyway, flipping all the way to the back, you have the completed model, which is literally the same as the front page. Advertisements for the other Marvel sets from 2022. Parts listing goes on for about 2 pages, and then he went at the back. In terms of extra parts, this is all that I got in my copy of the set. Overall, for 120 Canadian dollars, I can't recommend picking this up. I really can't. It doesn't really feel like you're getting a lot. Like, yes, obviously in front of you it looks like you're getting a lot, but for 120 Canadian, I don't know if I could recommend that, especially if you're trying to army build this build to be making a huge armory. It's kind of hard. Like, sure, if you want to buy one to get the figures and then maybe part out this online, sure, it's doable, but I don't know. The only affordable way that I discovered was by buying the Marvel 2-packs, image shown right here, for 100 Canadian dollars from Costco. So unless you're able to find those 2-packs at Costco or for a good deal on the aftermarket, this is the only real way that you can buy multiple copies of the set to army build this. Like, I don't know. I'd even go as far as say just buy the figures separately and do the build. The rest of this is garbage in my opinion. And then, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this. It's a little loose. Not like, the fact that they tried to do it twice, it's... And then another thing is, for those who don't know, dark red legs tend to crack over time if you display it on bricks. So if you do pick up this set, I recommend getting a ton of these pieces to add to your armory because it is a perfect way to display your figures in your armory and not have to worry about the legs cracking. That's just my little tidbit advice for you guys there. But yeah, I don't know. Can't recommend this set to you guys at the full price retail. Get it on discount, which is probably going to go to in a few months as time of this recording. So, yeah. Anyway, those are more or less my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button or dislike. It's up to you. And yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you all in a future video. Until then, see you later. Bye-bye.